Good morning, and thank you so much for joining me today. Let's go to the book of John, John chapter 6, and we are going to look at verse number 35. The Bible says, "And Jesus said unto them, I am the bread of life. He that cometh to me shall never hunger, and he that believeth on me shall never thirst." Now, I'm sure you are just as aware as I am of what it feels like to be hungry and to be thirsty, right? There have been times where I have worked, so many hours, and I was just so busy with my work that I didn't have time to eat. And by the end of the day, I am just starving, famished. And, my stomach starts to growl very loudly, right? And if I'm in a public place, it can get a little embarrassing, right? Where I'm just, standing there and my stomach's just like, like a dog, It's like, oh, calm down, okay? I'll get you some food in a minute. Just wait. It's not fun to be hungry, right? And, when I go to my jiu-jitsu class and we're, sparring and fighting, and boy, I tell you what, I can get really, really thirsty, and by the end of class, I am just guzzling down that water. I am just so thirsty because so much water came out of my pores. I'm drenched in sweat, and I need water. And Jesus gives this very, very interesting lesson about being the bread of life, and how that those who come to him will never hunger, and those that believe on him will never thirst. He's not talking about the physical hunger or the physical thirst that we go through on a daily basis. He's talking about the hunger and thirst within our souls and within our hearts. And let me tell you, just like I know what it's like to be physically hungry and to be physically thirsty, I know also what it's like before I was saved, before I became a believer, when I was lost in my sin. I know what it's like to be spiritually hungry and spiritually thirsty. Before I was saved, there was an emptiness in my heart. Even worse than having an empty stomach is a hole in your heart where you are longing for something, but you don't know what it is. That something is truth. That something is life. That something is Jesus Christ. But back then, I didn't know it. All I knew was that my life was incomplete. And I remember even being as young as I think it was 7 years old, still relatively new to this country, and just a small child. But even at a young age, I've always been kind of a deep thinker. I think of just very deep thoughts, and I would often get lost in my thoughts, even as a small boy. Excuse me. And I remember as a 7-year-old boy, my family was coming over for some holiday. I think it was Christmas, but I don't remember exactly. And I just remember thinking, I'm 7 now, but someday I'm going to be old, and all of these people will die, the older ones, and then I will die. And then what's next? At 7 years old, I thought about death already. 7 years old, I thought about all of these things that were true that just hit me like a freight train, right? Someday I'm going to have to die. And then what? What is after that? What is the point of this life? And I remember that really bothered me for years. I mean, bothered me really all the way up until I got saved and understood a lot more, about the purpose of this life, the purpose of me being here. And for years and years and years, I hungered and I thirsted until Christ came. And he was the only one that could satiate my hunger and my thirst. And I tell you, every single human being, we are created in his image. Every single human being, we have a hole in our hearts because of our sin that can only be filled by our Creator. And his name is Jesus Christ. And yeah, you may still have to eat after you get saved. You may still have to drink water, while we're still stuck in this body. But I assure you, if you give Christ a chance, spiritually speaking, he speaks the truth. You will never hunger and you will never thirst. You will be satiated by Christ. Thank you so much for joining me today. God bless you. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you tomorrow morning. Bye-bye.